All right, everybody, we're back with a brand new Friday review here on the Cabral Concept, one of my favorite shows of the week to be able to bring you. And this week is no different. I'll be bringing you some of my favorite things from the health, the wellness, the fitness, the high performance health-based side of this industry. We've got two research studies, one on how your bowel movements, believe it or not, are linked to future health-based disease. If there's this particular imbalance, I'll go over that here today. We've got 3 blood tests that everybody should be running on an annual basis, 3 specific ones as part of your full panel. I bet you have one, but not the other 2, so we'll go over that. I have what I believe is probably the best manual, most comprehensive manual written on lymphatic drainage, manual lymph drainage. So if you're interested in this, I want to share that with you. And then a product review of the week, something that I've been using and my wife has been using the last couple months to rejuvenate the overall skin on the face, because we know that that skin really starts to begin to age as we move into our 40s. And as I'm moving into my later 40s, this is something that I want to start to work on myself. So before we get to all of those amazing research studies, products, and book reviews, let's go over what's happened this past week on the Cabral Concept. If you missed it, on Monday, we went over rewriting your inner script. So this goes well beyond the power of positive thinking. It really does. You want to check out this show because your outer world, honestly, is a reflection of your inner script, your inner wiring. That's what we need to work on. It's something that I can't recommend enough to you if you're not in the spot that you want to be in life. Tuesday's show was the longevity diet, how to live 40% longer. Definitely check out that show. And then immediately, if you haven't already listened to it, the next day is simplifying protein intake once and for all. One camp says higher protein for body transformation. The other camp says low protein for longevity. Which one is right? Is there somewhere we can meet in the middle? I talk about that on Wednesday's show. Yesterday's show was a news study on how brain tissue actually contains 10% more microplastics and why, and then also how we can begin to reduce that immediately. All right, that is this week in shows on the Cabral Concept at stephencabral.com/podcasts. All right, let's dive now in product review of the week. Really, I've had this for a bit, but haven't begun to implement it because I've got a lot of great, healthy biohacking-based products. And as I've said before, my kind of skincare routine has taken a back seat. I've been, I love my infrared sauna. I love my exercise, my weight training, my cardio. I love all of the different things. So again, I'm an advocate. I love the field. But this is one that truly does help with collagen production, skin elasticity, skin cell turnover, and mitochondria. And it's been proven over and over, and that is with red light. The problem is the red light really needs to be super close to your skin in order to get those results. And there has to be enough red lights in order to be able to get the clinical benefit. Well, I got this not too long ago, right before the new year. And it comes in this flat case that you can travel with. So it's pretty amazing because we actually took this to Maine on a flight, just in a longer suitcase, and it folds flat. So it's very easy to use, but when you pop it up, I'll show you what it looks like right now. So when you pop it up, it looks like a face shield. So literally you're gonna lie on your back and your face goes right against it. So this lies on a flat surface. So if you're not watching this on video, it looks like a dome. And the dome is a little larger than your head. It basically will go from the bottom of your neck all the way up to your hairline. So great for the hair as well, especially in the front of the head. Now, when you lie under it, you are only about 1 inch or 2 away from your nose touching the top, which is where you want it to be. Now, I'm going to turn on the red light in 1 second. So again, if you're not watching this on video, we absolutely recommend you subscribe to the YouTube channel. A new show comes out every single day. So I'm going to turn this on. You're going to get to see the effect of this red light. So it has a little thing, you can step right on it, and you can see how powerful that glow is. So if I have my head in it right now, you can really feel the power of all of these red lights. So there's many companies like this. The reason why I went with this company called Lumara is because of the amount of red light diodes that are actually allowing you to penetrate the skin. And I like that this was made of silicone. I like that it didn't get overly hot, that there weren't a lot of VOCs being off-gassed into this. So this right here is my go-to. Now, there's a lot of red light that I use. When I'm in the Thera 360 sauna, there's red light, and I sit in the floor of that, so I'm getting red light there. If I use one of my stand-up red lights, those are great. It is nowhere near the effect that these stronger I don't want to call them machines, but these stronger devices have, because if I hold this up really close to the camera, you can see all of those little gray dots, and there are thousands of them. So I'm not a paid spokesperson for this company, but when you go to their website, and what I'll do is I will link it up here for you today at stevencabral.com/3311. And I'll actually link it up with $100 off if you use my name, Cabral. And the reason why I wanted to bring this to you is because I'm looking for the best products in category and putting them on my resources page at stevencabral.com/resources. This is a 5-minute to 10-minute maximum treatment, more days than not per week, and it has 1,800 LEDs. Look at your favorite machine, especially your red light for the face. It's not going to have nearly that much. And so again, all that's needed is a very simple 5 minutes to 10-minute treatment, more days than not. I try to do it 4 to 5 days per week. Really simple, really straightforward, and absolutely clinically proven to help with skin aging. So that's now part of my skincare routine. I'm going to be adding these things over the course of this year. All the different serums I'm testing out. Once I find one that I really like, or skin-based peptides, I will share those with you as well. So that's the Lumara, $100 off using my name, Cabral, and I will link it up for you today at stevencabral.com/3311. All right, now let's go over our book review of the week. This is actually an ebook. So I don't actually have the opportunity to read a lot of ebooks. I don't look at ebooks. I don't sign up for a lot of ebooks. I don't read. I read a lot of research on screen, yes, but it's research. I don't read books on a screen. I actually like to pick up my books, right? So, I buy them in paperback, hardcover, whatever it might be, and I love to read. And I dog ear and I highlight, and then I go back to it. And it's kind of like my part of my library, my resource. But this one's a little bit different. This one is on supporting drainage pathways, and actually written by one of our IHPs. And I wanted to bring it to you, not because it's one of our IHPs. Our IHPs do amazing things in the community, but this is truly one of the best all-encompassing books that I've seen written. It's 63 pages, beautifully designed, on lymphatic drainage. And this is by Grace Muffler. There is a little bit about Grace, her work. It goes over the drainage and the detox and drainage funnel. Goes over colon-based drainage, liver and bile, lymphatic system, organs and tissues, meaning like kidneys as well, cellular drainage, and then how to put it all together. So as you move through this book, it actually is all broken down into sections, and you can kind of go one by one. So it goes over the stagnation of the body, how to begin to use things like dry brushing, coffee enemas, making sure you're having at least one bowel movement per day, what to do if you're not. It goes over different binders. It goes over certain recipes, anti-inflammatory recipes. It talks about what your bile is, how to get the bile moving, how to do liver-based detoxifications. As I talked about before, coffee enemas. There's also castor oil packs in this to how to support your liver and kidneys with castor oil packs, different types of juices if you want to create drainage-based juices, your overall lymphatic system, dry brushing, a facial-based lymph massage, which I'm starting to do a little bit more of myself as well, using my Ayurvedic-based techniques. There's even an armpit detox in here. Yoga flow. There's khichdi cleanse from Ayurveda with the khichdi recipe. So I could go on and on. There's so much information in this. It really is kind of your one go-to source for all things lymphatic and drainage. And if you're interested, I figured I would share it with you, as I always do, a new favorite book each and every week. You can head on over to stevencabral.com/3311. We'll link it up there. We'll try to get you a discount code as well. It's already a great deal. I think it's $30 for this book, which is everything that you need to know really on this particular topic. But also, I think that we have a discount taking it down to around $20 for you. So great investment in your overall health. Definitely worth the read. Thank you, Grace, for putting that together. It looks fantastic. And we appreciate you, especially as an IHP, doing excellent work. All right, next up is our research for the week. This was an interesting one, and I totally agree with the outcome of this research. But this was done on over 14 healthy adults by researchers at the Institute for Systems Biology in Seattle, and it was published in Cell Reports Medicine. Here's what it said. Bowel movement frequency may predict chronic disease risk. People diagnosed with chronic diseases such as Parkinson's and chronic kidney disease often have had constipation for years before their diagnosis. Recent findings were based on reported frequency of bowel movements. People who experienced constipation the most often, defined as having no more than 1 to 2 bowel movements per week, were more likely to have blood metabolites and blood chemistry associated with kidney damage. So it might be BUN markers, it might be creatinine markers, and others for the kidneys, albumin, etc. While people who experienced diarrhea or loose stool often had the blood chemistry linked to liver damage and inflammation. Interesting. So gut bacteria that digest fiber were plentiful in people who had normal bowel movements once or twice per day. While not proving cause and effect, these results do suggest that bowel movement frequency is linked to changes in how gut bacteria metabolize fiber and proteins. It may explain the development of certain diseases. It's another reason why it's a good thing to bring changes in bowel movements to your doctor or healthcare practitioner, which I totally agree with, because remember, if you are not eliminating properly, that means that there's a poor absorption of certain nutrients in your body and certainly some inflammatory-based component. And if we know that intestinal permeability, increased intestinal permeability or leaky gut leads to the majority of autoimmune issues, as well as inflammation leading to heart disease, high blood pressure, and more, we know that that starts with the gut. And if bowel movements are a good representation of what's going on in your digestive system, if you're not having 1 to 2 bowel movements per day, there's something not quite in balance with your body. And I've got lots of shows on constipation or loose stool, but it could be a fiber intake. It could be a hydration. It could be low stomach acid. It could be high stomach acid. Could be candida overgrowth. Could be parasites. Could be SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Could be H. pylori. My highest recommendation is if you don't know, you run the big 3 gut bundle. I mean, that's the absolute best way to do it. You can find those labs at stephencabral.com/shop. It comes with a consultation, but if you'd rather run them with another practice, please do feel free to do so. You can run them with an integrative health practitioner, level 2, or soon to be level 3. And they are the IgG food sensitivity test, the Candida metabolic and vitamins test, and the bacteria and parasite stool test. That will tell you definitively, is there yeast overgrowth? Is there bacterial overgrowth? Is there parasites? Is there H. pylori? It'll show you that. So really important that you do that if you don't know what's going on with your digestive system, and then you'll be given something like the CBO protocol or parasupport protocol or whatever's needed in order to rebalance your digestive system, which honestly is the seat of health in your body. All right, that was research 1. Of course, I'm going to link it up today. And then the second research study is on blood tests. Now, this was for women. This study was done on almost 28,000 women and published in the New England Journal of Medicine, run by Dr. Paul Ridker, a professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School in Boston, co-author of this study. Now, here's the interesting thing. Again, it's written for women, but you could easily apply this to all men as well. And that is because they said there's 3 blood tests that predict heart risk. And here's what they said. Levels of inflammatory biomarker high sensitivity C-reactive protein, also known as HSCRP, LDL, also known as bad cholesterol, I'm putting that in air quotes, and lipoprotein little a can predict 30-year cardiovascular risk. Let me repeat that. Those 3 markers can predict 30-year cardiovascular risk. Compared with women whose levels were in the lowest fifth, cardiovascular risk for those in the top fifth was 70% higher for high sensitivity CRP, 36% higher for elevated LDL, 33% higher for lipoprotein little a. These results underscore the need to improve heart health, especially among women. whose heart disease is often undertreated. So really important. Let's just talk about these three markers for a moment. It used to be run, and many doctors still running CRP, C-reactive protein. Well, years ago, they developed a high sensitivity C-reactive protein that is even more sensitive. And it looks at acute inflammation. It doesn't tell you what it's from, but it shows you acute inflammation in the body. If there's acute inflammation systemically, it can be affecting your cardiovascular system and arteries. We want to look at that, right? Okay, the next one is LDL cholesterol. Now, again, there's a lot of back and forth in this, but if you have really elevated levels of LDL cholesterol and you have especially lower levels of HDL, there's an inflammatory process going on in the body. There's no doubt about that. I don't believe that you should have high levels of LDL. I don't think that it's healthy in any way, shape, or form. If you have high LDL, but you have clean arteries, good blood pressure, good cholesterol, good cortisol, maybe totally fine, but you need to make sure, there's just no need to be like, oh, well, I heard this guy on Instagram say it's no problem if you have high LDL. Be careful with that information because you're literally taking your life at risk. And then the last one is lipoprotein little a. This is an important one. This is a real genetic factor. And although you can lower this, this is a good indicator if you're more genetically predisposed to heart-based disease. Doesn't mean that you have to get it. So much that you can do, but certainly shows a genetic predisposal to it. Funny though, that the marker that was basically twice the predictor essentially, or twice the risk for heart disease in women was high sensitivity CRP. In our practice, we like that below a 0.5, but absolutely below a 1. So these are things that you can add on your annual blood work. You can run it semi-annually if you want. Run your big 5 every single year, but you also want to get your blood work run as well. Hopefully this was helpful. I'll link up all these research studies plus the book on lymphatic drainage and the product review for the week, the Lumara red light for the face, and all the special links will be at stephencabral.com/3311. Have an amazing weekend, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with our first Cabral House calls of the weekend. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.